Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Act, Monday 9th of August 2021. Look at the front of the papers. First up, New York Times, selfie time at the Olympics for Team USA. It's all over now, thank God. Over on the right, hotter future now inevitable. Afghanistan, Taliban taking more territories. Down here, mention of Cuomo, mention of COVID. New York Times International Edition story in the middle about food insecurity from the other day, particularly in South Africa because of the pandemic. Over on the right, Myanmar economic crisis. Over on the left, Viktor Orban's story. Down the bottom, something about Hollywood. Wall Street Journal, pretty dramatic photo from Greece, people fighting wildfires. Taliban, Afghanistan, Olympics finishing, sexual assault claim at Alibaba. USA Today, we're failing one another. America's fourth COVID surge, big map where it's all happening. ICU's filling up, please get a vaccination, that type of thing. Jeff Bezos post, Delta, Olympics, Taliban, Haiti. Lower paying fields reach a milestone, $15 an hour. Not sure the cost of living in America, but I guess that's a good story. Chicago Sun-Times, police officer was shot dead. This guy's saying, I'm asking Chicago to wrap their arms around their police officers today. Wouldn't recommend anyone do that, in case you get shot in the head, unless you're white, in which case just go for it. Over on the right, 13 years since acquittal, Kelly going to trial again. That's R. Kelly, who was arrested 2 years ago. They're going to form the jury this week in his trial. He's on the front of this paper because he's from Chicago. Montreal Gazette, from Earth to Sky, there's some of the First Nations people out having a hoolie. That man is very well dressed, looks like a great time. Global Times from China, Tokyo Olympics finishing. Tokyo Olympics plays last note, inspires the world amid pandemic, inspires the world to maybe never have the Olympics like this again and build a load of infrastructure that nobody needs and gather people in the one place during the midst of a global pandemic and keep the stadiums empty so no one can even watch them. Jerusalem Post, Israel won't accept rocket attacks from Lebanon, says Bennett. Alright, thanks Bennett. Tehran Times, Israel receives a slap in the face from Hezbollah, so two sides of the same coin there, I guess, in a way. Bit of a tit for tat at the border of Lebanon, Israel firing and Hezbollah firing back. I think they just fired into open ground. Don't think anyone was hurt. Australian, China, Olympics, Delta. Belfast Telegraph, Olympics finishing. Over on the right, Oma bomb victim's dad slams Irish government's real IRA talks. Very strange slant on this, but Oma bomb, 1998, 29 people died. A Belfast judge has now come out and said that there was clear evidence that it could have been prevented by the security services, but it wasn't, so there has to be a full investigation. A lot of people since then anyway had been saying that, perhaps the whole thing was engineered by state forces because they clearly knew it was happening, and given the history of having double agents inside the IRA and things like that, there's no way they couldn't have known. So it was reported by the BBC that GCHQ were in fact monitoring the conversations of the bombers in the car as it drove into the town. And multiple warnings were called in, but the area was never cleared. So clearly it rests on someone's shoulders. Hopefully they find out. Irish Independent, Olympics, there's a boxer who won gold yesterday. Congratulations. Irish Times, boxer won gold. Something about COVID, schools reopening. Irish Examiner, climate change can't be avoided. Boxing, mass infant graves at Children's Hospital site. Okay, they've undercovered another mass infant site of graves, I guess ironically in a place where they're going to build a brand new children's hospital. Irish Sun, boxing story again. Financial Times, there's a grown man crying over football, kind of sad. Philip Morris bid for Vectura, that's a cigarette company buying an inhaler manufacturer. Yeah. Down the bottom, Afghanistan Taliban story. The Guardian, almost out of time on climate. Team GB at the Olympics. Times, Team GB at the Olympics, they've got a flag that looks a bit like a rug that they pulled off the floor. Get back to the office, ministers order staff. Okay. Anything else there we want to touch on? No. Independent, Tokyo finishing, thank God. Up the top, Taliban, homeless, motherhood, man crying. Something down there at the bottom about ratios going up, more than 30 pupils in classes. Daily Torygraph, there's Team GB with their flag rug again. Too many teenagers going to university. Alright, strange headline, but they're trying to encourage people to go into apprenticeships, plumbers, etc. Probably because they're running out of these type of things since the wake of Brexit. Down the bottom, calls for Carrie to save Geronimo the alpaca. This some alpaca that's been put down because he's bovine tuberculosis, but people are appealing to the government to not do it because he's an alpaca and he's cute. I don't know. Daily Express, Team GB at the Olympics again. Daily Mirror, Team GB at the Olympics. What a waste of Monet. Something about Boris getting expensive paintings installed in Downing Street. Daily Mail, Britain's Golden Glory, Team GP. Cut the pay of civil servants who work at home. Alright, nice times from the Tories. Metro, the greatest. Team GB. That's all of today's papers, but there is one more paper from yesterday which I would like to take a quick look at. Yesterday's Mail on Sunday. Something up the top, some woman soy facing over money. Something about the alpaca again. Geronimo has to die. And over on the right, Prince Andrew set to be sued in the US by his sex abuse accuser. Yes. So that's Virginia Roberts there in the photo. She's now 37 and she has until Saturday to file a lawsuit. So they've been trying to work it out. Her lawyer sent a letter to the Duke's lawyers offering to sign an agreement that they could, have a discussion over it, etc. But they've just completely ignored it. And yeah, and we've also got Ghislaine Maxwell's trial coming up in November. So there could be more and more of Prince Andrew in the news, which I would love to see. That same article, of course, went on to say that Epstein hanged himself in prison, which is clearly not true. There's no physical way Epstein could have hanged himself. Alright, thankfully that's it for the day. If you want to stay off corporate or state media, just click the link in the description. Alright, have a good one. Thanks. Good luck.